Yes, so this is about the life process chapter we're going to discuss today. And the topic will be today for the foundation, that is nutrition. So life process is one of the chapters in class 10th, which has 4 chapters involved. 4 life processes are here. That is nutrition, respiration, circulation, that is transportation and excretion. So the life process. So here in this life process, we can see that some of the basic life processes which are described here in this. Nutrition, the process of obtaining energy through consumption of food is called as nutrition. Then similarly, we have other life processes also like respiration, transportation, excretion. Right. So there are some, we will focus in today's class on nutrition. So like few questions are there, but this is one of the important questions for that what criteria do we use to decide whether something is alive? So the aliveness, how we decide it. If the animal or the plant, any microbe is able to do the life processes, the basic life processes, then we say yes, that they are alive. So any visible movement such as walking, breathing, growing is generally used to decide whether something is alive or not. So however, a living organism can also have movements which are not visible to the naked eyes. So therefore, the presence of life process is a fundamental criteria that can be used to decide whether something is alive or right. Next, what are outside raw materials used for any organism? What do you think? So what would be the any particular content? An organism uses outside raw materials mostly in the form of food and oxygen. So the raw materials required by the organism can be quite varied depending on the complexity of the organisms and its environment. Now, what process would you consider essential for maintaining life? It is all the life processes given in this chapter. Nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion are essential for maintaining life in an organism. Next, so let's talk about nutrition. The process by which an organism takes food and utilizes is called nutrition. Why is the need of nutrition? What is the need? We take nutrition to perform various life activities, right? So the energy which is required to do the life process, we get it from nutrition, means the base, the substrate, which is going to be oxidized. अच्छा, अब न्यूट्रिशन एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एनर्जी ट्रांसफार्मर है. अगर हम प्लांट्स की बात करें, autotrophs की, या any autotroph for that matter, which is chlorophyll pigment, so we say that वो inorganic से organic में food बना रहा है. और अगर हम heterotrophs की बात करें, तो organic to inorganic में food बना रहा है, right? So like this. So need is because we need energy, and we need to grow and have repairing of the dead worn out cells. So the raw materials are provided by nutrients. So what is a nutrient? Material which provide nutrition to the organisms. क्या है nutrition? It is cytoplasmic content. Cytoplasm के अंदर जितने भी metabolic processes हैं, उन सबके लिए chemicals की जरूरत पड़ती है. और वही chemicals क्या कहलाते हैं? Nutrients. तो organic, inorganic form में होते हैं, and we need to take it outside. कुछ nutrients, कुछ particular compounds हमारी body self बना सकती है. ठीक है, तो उनको non essential कहते हैं ना. Whereas the essential nutrients are the ones which we need to take up from the outside source. So that is what we talk about here. The essential ones which we have to take it from outside. So materials which provide nutrition to organisms are called nutrients. Carbohydrates, proteins and fats are the main nutrients and are called macronutrients. Minerals and vitamins are required in small amounts and hence they are called as micronutrients. So what are the types of nutrition? Autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophs could be green plants, blue-green algae, bacteria, archaebacteria, which are able to do photosynthesis, means they should be able to rearrange the inorganic substance to organic. So the mode of nutrition in which an organism prepares its own food is called autotrophic nutrition. Green plants and blue-green algae follow the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition mode of nutrition which an organism takes food from another organism means directly, indirectly, a heterotroph is dependent on an autotroph. Yes. So here what is happening? One thing, like in autotrophs, it is from inorganic shift of molecules to organic, right? And this organic food is taken up by the heterotrophs. These heterotrophs do what? They actually convert this organic content into inorganic by breaking it down by digestion steps. So ultimately it is the inorganic form which is soluble and easily can be taken up. Then definitely there are organic monomers जो हमारे cells के अंदर enter कर सकते हैं. तो organic भी होगा, it should be in a monomeric form. In the form of single units, simple units, monomers. Right? So heterotrophic nutrition, the mode in which an organism takes food from another is heterotrophic organisms other than green plants. So the ones who do not have a chlorophyll pigment, they all fall under heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition has further subdivisions and types we'll discuss after some time. So let's talk about the next category, autotrophic nutrition. So here I was talking, I will show you in a flowchart manner. So this is about how the types of nutrition is there. Autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs means self, propose means food. So self-feed means the ones who can prepare their own food by the simple elements around us. So what are those elements around us? So use simple inorganic substances and either light energy for photosynthesis or for chemical energy, chemosynthesis to synthesize food. So even autotrophs can be chemosynthesis as well as photo. Photo means light is necessary and chemo means it is a chemical, inorganic chemicals like H2S is there, iron is there. So there are different types of bacteria which are using them for the production of energy particles. Heterotrophs obtains energy through intake and digestion of organic substances, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, animals या plant tissues. अगर वो animal खाते हैं तो वो carnivore हो गया, plant खाते हैं तो down till here. So you can see here these examples which are shown. Any doubt? Yes, speaker. Next. So heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is typical of animals, right? These organisms eat organic matter in other organisms, either alive as hunters, that is predators, or as dead scavengers. अगर वो dead matter खा रहा है तो वो scavenger है, और अगर वो live prey को capture कर रहा है तो वो predator है. So saprotrophic organisms are the decay organisms. Digest dead materials using enzymes that they secrete externally. Fungi and many bacteria are saprotrophs. So what are the categories of saprotrophs? Any example? अगर पूछते हैं for 1 mark, what will you answer? Fungi and bacteria. Now parasites like biotrophs feed on living organisms without killing them, right? But they are harmful to the hosts on the body which they live, inside or outside. So parasites could be endoparasites or ectoparasites. Can you give example of endoparasites and ecto both? Endo is tapeworm, pescatally in plants, otherwise leeches, mosquitoes. Heterotrophic nutrition can be further divided into 2 types: saprophytic nutrition and ornithoid nutrition. So let's see that. Saprophytes कौन होंगे? Dead and decaying decomposers को feed करते हैं, but they have very important role. They are responsible for the continuation of the food chain, right? So they are important for the continuation of the food chain because they break the dead organisms into simple minerals which are available in the soil, and thus the nutrient cycle is maintained. Ornithoid nutrition, the digestion happens inside the body of the organisms after the food is ingested. Most of the animals follow this mode of nutrition. So organisms में autotrophs and heterotrophs, the two categories are given here. Autotrophs may be, they can be chemoautotrophs like nitrogen cycle bacteria, right? And saprotrophic may some bacteria and fungi are there. Which one? Detritivores. Detritivores are the ones like earthworms family. So saprophyte, detritivores which eat anything. Anything which comes on their way, could be organic, inorganic, they're able to metabolize it. So they're detritivores. But see, they are more. They can eat any kind of, even the litter, like you can say the foliage of the forest. So that they are detritivores, which even can break down a dead leaf. But particularly scavengers, they are going to eat the dead bodies. If some monocyclic, ultimately they are taking solid food meals. Solid food and monozoic. So varieties of them. These are the subdivisions of it. Right? So chemoautotrophic, saprotrophic, phototrophic modes, you can see here. Phototrophic may green plants, some protists, purple sulfur bacteria. You can write down these examples. Holozoid, most of the animals, carnivores, plants, some protists, carnivore plants, some protistants. Parasitic may some bacteria, fungi, protists, animals, and plants. Protista is unicellular animals like amoeba and paramecium family. Right? So remember, the net equation is this: gross is 12H2O and plus 6H2O up here, and this is about photosynthesis layout. That there is a light energy. Light is trapped by chlorophyll, traps the light energy to make the food. Water is absorbed from the roots. Carbon dioxide enters to the stomata of the leaves. And what is the outcome? It gives off oxygen into the air, and this glucose, this CO2 is converted into starch. It stores the food in the other parts of the plant. Store किस form में होगा? Starch. Yes, starch is for storage. Transfer किस form में होगा food? Transfer of food is in the form of liquid. Yes, it is in the form of liquid. It is no, it is sucrose. Liquid sucrose के form में होगा. गन्ने का रस होता है sugar, that is sucrose. तो liquid form में होगा जो juice था. Yes. सुक्रोज और बन किस फॉर्म में रहा है? ग्लूकोज के फॉर्म में. It is synthesized in the form of glucose. So like this, photosynthesis has a layout. Right? इसको लिख लो क्योंकि ये for easily for 3 marks you can gain full marks if you write this part also. That the layout of photosynthesis. Then we will talk about the steps. So in the steps of photosynthesis, what is the first step? First step was trapping of sunlight through chlorophyll. So the hydrogen released by splitting of water molecule is utilized for reduction of carbon dioxide to produce carbohydrates. So hydrogen कहाँ पे use हुआ? Actually, it is for the formation of energy particles, right? Energy चाहिए, तो वो hydrogen जो है energy particle बना रहा है NADPH. Oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis. So ये एक question आ सकता है. Which one is a byproduct of photosynthesis? Who is a byproduct? Oxygen is a byproduct. Carbohydrate is subsequently converted into starch, and it is stored in the leaves and other storage parts. The splitting of water molecules, leaf में store नहीं होता है. It is stored in the storage parts only, especially like roots or shaded areas. Roots or shaded areas. If splitting of water molecule is part of the light reaction, the splitting of water is a part of which reaction? Light reaction. कैसे लिखते हैं? H2O splits into 2H plus 2 electrons, and then oxygen is half oxygen molecule as per the balancing of equations. Now, how do the raw materials for the photosynthesis becomes available to the plants? कैसे available होगा? So, who are the two raw materials we have seen? Water and CO2. Yes, carbon dioxide. Now, the water comes from soil to the xylem tissues in the roots and stems. So, who is responsible for the conduction of water? xylem tissues in the roots and stems, and CO2 comes from in the leaves through the stomata. Stomata से exchange होगा. Next, what is the significance of photosynthesis? क्या फायदा है photosynthesis से? Environment को क्या फायदा होगा? सबसे बड़ा फायदा food synthesis. This is the only way कि हम solar energy को भी trap कर रहे हैं. So this is a transducer. It is like a transducer who is converting one form of energy into another form of energy. So it is converting solar energy. It is made available for different living beings. Green plants are the main producers of food in the ecosystem. Next thing क्या provide कर रहा है ये food दे रहा है. ठीक है? So all other organisms directly or indirectly किस पे depend होते हैं? Plants पे. So we are dependent on plants. Then इसका बाय प्रोडक्ट क्या था? ऑक्सीजन. तो ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और CO2 को क्या रखता है? CO2 एंड ऑक्सीजन के बीच में क्या मेंटेन करता है? बैलेंस. So there is a balance of carbon cycle. कार्बन साइकिल को कौन बैलेंस कर रहा है? The producers, the green mass. इसका जो बायोमास है सबसे ज्यादा पूरे ओशन में, you know, हमारा 70% of the earth is covered by water bodies. तो उसमें कौन है ओशंस के अंदर? एल्गे, yes, phytoplanktons. हाँ, phyto मतलब हाँ, so the ones which are plants, which are small creatures inside the water bodies. So they are converting this large amount of CO2. They are CO2 fixers. Greenhouse effect को बैलेंस कर रहा है, pollution कम कर रहा है. So these are the byproducts and the usage of photosynthesis. So you can note down these points. Significance of photosynthesis. This can be asked in the questions. So this is a summary that how the sunlight strikes the chlorophyll in leaves and is captured. तो आपको पता है एक चीज क्या है, leaves पे है, right? It is taking place in the leaf. Then what happens here? Leaf का adaptation तो चाहिए. Leaf को sunlight properly available हो और maximum day time पे जब sun अलग-अलग, sun और earth का क्या, earth is revolving around on its own axis or rotation. Rotating on its own axis. Revolves in a canvas seasonal change दे रहा है. लेकिन day के day and night effect पड़ेगा. Rotation on its own axis of the earth. तो the daytime में maximum उसके पास एक chance है कि वो sunlight को trap करेगा, right? Sunlight strikes the chlorophyll molecules in leaves and is captured. So for that, the leaf is well adapted. How the leaf is adapted? Yes, it is first of all, we see here that the leaf is first point, लिखो, dorso-ventrally flattened body. It's a flattened surface. Flattened surface. बिल्कुल flat surface है leaf blade का. In the what we call that leaf blade. We call it leaf blade. तो बिल्कुल flatly exposed है. For maximum exposure to sunlight. For maximum exposure to sunlight. How the leaves are adapted for photosynthesis. Okay, so leaves are adapted for photosynthesis. It is dorso-ventrally flattened surface. Leaf blade is a name given for maximum exposure to sunlight. Then second point is arrangement of chloroplast, जिसमें thylakoids है, at the corners for maximum exposure or trapping the sunlight. So arrangement of chloroplasts in the mesophills as a corners, पूरा उसका upper epidermis में पूरा mesophyll spread होगा with chlorophyll. So arrangement of chloroplast at the corners of the mesophyll bundle, of the mesophyll bundle. so that maximum exposure is there. जितना क्लोरोप्लास्ट exposed होगा उतना ही ज्यादा light energy उस पे गिरेगी और वो ट्रैप होगा तो वो ट्रांसपोर्ट होगा, मतलब that photo reaction will take place. ठीक है? Apart from that, there are some internal mechanisms also. So what happens? So what happens is there the two phases of photosynthesis, जो दो phases हैं photosynthesis के, light and dark reaction is distributed in the chloroplast. दोनों की sites distributed है. It is distributed in the chloroplast. It is distributed in the chloroplast. So it is distributed, well distributed. This is the leaf adaptations. ताकि maximum way में वो use कर सके. तो क्लोरोफिल की प्लेसमेंट बहुत मैटर करती है. उसका दोनों साइड से लाइट एंड डार्क रिएक्शन वो वेल डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है. तो इस तरह से they don't compete with each other. Plus the exposure of stomata is at the lower epidermis. Exposure of stomata is at the lower epidermis. ठीक है? Exposure of stomata is at the lower epidermis for the exchange of gases. क्योंकि उसको पूरा दिन ओपन रहना है स्टोमेटा को फॉर एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस. उसको CO2 चाहिए और ऑक्सीजन को वापस करना है. लेकिन स्टोमेटा की ओपनिंग ये नहीं देख सेंस नहीं कर पाती कि वाटर वेपर का भी लॉस हो गया. तो उससे वो नहीं सेंस कर सकते. वो ब्लाइंड प्रोसेस है. So that's the reason the stomata is at the lower epidermis. क्योंकि डायरेक्ट इतनी देर तक लीफ प्लेट पे अगर सनलाइट गिर रही है, हम तो कहते हैं उसके बावजूद हम कहते हैं कि हार्डली 2% 1% इज अवेलेबल सॉइल प्लांट जितना पानी वो सोखता है पूरे दिन में, बाकी सारे ट्रांसपिरेशन भी चला जाते हैं. तो अगर स्टोमेटा ऊपर होता लीफ के तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि बहुत ही फ्रीक्वेंट जिसको पानी की जरूरत पड़ती. तो उसमें लोअर एपिडर्मिस की होना भी एक टिपिकली जो पूरा दिन स्टोमेटा को ओपन रहना है, इससे उसका वाटर लॉस कुछ हद तक बच रहा है. Got it? तो ये सारे इसके लीफ अडैप्टेशंस है. Midreport veins to transport of water to the every mesophyll cells. नहीं, midreport veins to distribution of water inside the leaves. So there are provision of water. आप ये लिख सकते हैं कि हाँ लीफ का अडैप्टेशन है. There is a provision of water facility, water pipelines. There is a facility, we write down that there is a facility of water channels है ना, midribs वगैरह. So availability of midribs for water transport. For water transport, right? So like this, 5 adaptations are there. 5 adaptations. So can we proceed now?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, animal nutrition. Now we talk about the animal nutrition. So it is heterotrophic site. Phototrophic we have discussed. What are the factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis? Let's discuss. Yes, dependency photosynthesis. They are the factors. Here, availability of sunlight, water, CO2 concentration. They matter a lot. Animal nutrition maybe. In fact, oxygen की भी concentration. अगर oxygen ज़्यादा है, तो इसका dark reaction में issue होगा. That we teach in the higher classes. तो ऑक्सीजन और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का एक बेसिक बैलेंस होना जरूरी है. अदरवाइज अगर ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा इसके आसपास चला जाएगा या मेसोफिल सेल्स को ज्यादा ऑक्सीजन मिलेगा, देयर इज अ फोटो ऑक्सीडेशन. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए
carbon dioxide का big test नहीं होता like potassium
हाँ KOH stress होता है
which test like
हाँ.
carbon dioxide absorb
Yes, yes. मैं आपको दिखाऊंगी बोला experiment. I'm coming to that. So let's talk about those. If you want to talk now, let's discuss that. Experiments. So there are some experiments conducted to prove that experiments are conducted first that CO2 is necessary for photosynthesis. So in this, they take a plant. So they take a plant. Leaf is there, and this is the plant, and it is growing in a flower pot like this. It is a live plant with soil available. Now what happens? So partly this particular leaf part is enclosed in a jar, which has KOH pellets. क्या है इसके अंदर? KOH के pellets होते हैं. So KOH has a tendency, अगर ये plant photosynthesis कर रहा है, तो ये definitely CO2 release करेगा, right? Sorry, oxygen. तो जितना भी इसमें CO2 है इस jar में, it's completely taken up by the KOH. KOH ने सारा CO2 जो है वो consume किया हुआ है, right? अब consume किया हुआ है, so what will happen? This part of the leaf, now we will pluck it. इसको pluck करके, अभी भी ये पूरा कैसे दिखेगा? ग्रीन कलर ही है, क्लोरोफिल है. तो जो हम टेस्ट करने जा रहे हैं, स्टार्च CO2 necessary for photosynthesis, जिसके लिए हमें स्टार्च का टेस्ट करना पड़ता है. स्टार्च टेस्ट जिसमें हमारा डाई कौन सा होता है? आयोडीन. और वो कलर क्या एक्सपेक्ट करेगा? आयोडीन सोल्यूशन ब्लू ब्लैक कलर. ठीक है, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम है ये ब्लू ब्लैक कलर डार्क पिगमेंट्स की वजह से, स्पेशली क्लोरोफिल या कैरोटीनॉइड्स, वो कलर टेस्ट नहीं आ पा रहा है. तो इसीलिए क्या करना पड़ता है? सबसे पहले इसको इस पार्ट को हमें अल्कोहल में इनडायरेक्टली इसको वाटर बाथ देना पड़ता है. दिस लीफ इज गोइंग टू बी बॉइल्ड. कैसे? इनसाइड दिस इज अल्कोहल, दिस इज अल्कोहल बाथ. लेकिन इसको डायरेक्टली ना उसमें नहीं देते बर्नर पे. हाँ, क्योंकि वो ये क्या होगा? ये आग पकड़ लेगा. दैट्स द रीजन. तो इसीलिए यहाँ पर जो वाटर बाथ दिया है, so this is the water bath. अब ये धीरे धीरे इनडायरेक्टली हीट इसमें जाएगा, एंड जो क्लोरोफिल है वो धीरे धीरे एक्सट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा, वो बाहर निकल जाएगा. अब पत्ता कैसा हो जाएगा? विदाउट क्लोरोफिल, मतलब पेल व्हाइट कलर विदाउट क्लोरोफिल. अब इस लीफ को स्टार्च टेस्ट पे डालेंगे. जब इसको स्टार्च टेस्ट पे डालेंगे तो कौन सा पोर्शन ब्लू ब्लैक दिखेगा?
One which has starch below one.
ये वाला पोर्शन ब्लू ब्लैक होगा और ये वाला पोर्शन में नो टेस्ट. So what does it prove? CO2 is necessary for photosynthesis. So इस प्रोसेस को होने में टाइम लगता है, because पहले इस वक्त सारा उसको पूरा दिखाना पड़ता है कि अगर photosynthesis blocked है. पहले इसको रखेंगे for some days for photosynthesis blocked. ठीक है, स्टार्च बनानी, और इस at the same time destarching भी है, and also destarch करने के लिए इसको पहले डार्क रूम में रखना पड़ेगा पत्ते को, क्योंकि जितना भी स्टार्च अगर इसमें है पहले का बना हुआ तो वो कंज्यूम हो जाएगा. ठीक है, इसलिए इसको क्या करना पड़ेगा? हमें destarching. Destarching means the available starch which was in the previous photosynthesis process that has to be consumed. तो कंज्यूम होगा तब जाके टेस्ट नेगेटिव देगा वो. फिर इसको क्या करेंगे? अल्कोहल बाथ में देंगे, डीकलरेशन करेंगे. इसके बाद फाइनली इट इज गोइंग टू बी इन द टेस्ट, स्टार्च टेस्ट. इसी वे में अब नेक्स्ट क्या होगा? ये तो हुआ CO2 नेसेसरी फॉर फोटोसिंथेसिस. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट वन? सनलाइट इज नेसेसरी फॉर फोटोसिंथेसिस. For sunlight necessary for photosynthesis, which test is there? It is again the same process. but what is to be get sunlight से इसको अवे रखना पड़ेगा, उसको ब्लैक स्ट्रिप लगा देते हैं पत्ते पर. सनलाइट इज necessary for photosynthesis. It is necessary for photosynthesis. So what are the steps here? What are the steps? First thing is that this potted plant जो है इसमें हम क्या लगा सकते हैं? ब्लैक कलर का ये स्ट्रिप लगा दिया, ठीक है, ब्लैक स्ट्रिप लगा दिया. इसके बाद क्या करेंगे? नेचुरल एक्सपोजर सनलाइट का जिसके पार्ट पे वो फोटोसिंथेसिस कर रहे हैं, बट एट द सेम टाइम ये जो लीफ है ना, पहले इसका प्रीवियस स्टार्च खत्म करने के लिए इसे कहाँ रखना पड़ेगा? डार्क में फॉर सम डेज, ताकि उसका रिमेनिंग स्टार्च पूरा कंज्यूम हो जाए. उसके बाद इसको फ्रेशली जब स्टार्च खत्म है उसके बाद इसमें ब्लैक स्ट्रिप लगा के इसको एक्सपोज करेंगे कि अब नया सनलाइट प्रोसेस शुरू हो रहा है, प्रीवियस वाला इकट्ठा नहीं है, एंड दिस द रिमेनिंग पार्ट इज गेटिंग सेट. ठीक है. So sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis, and here we can see this exposed part. ये पूरा green leaf है. This is the exposed part. It is going to show the photosynthesis. And what will happen next? Same process. बोलो क्या होगा? Alcohol, bath, and then iodine test. So which portion will be blue black? This portion is not is the as usual pale, and this portion is going to be the blue black, जो strip से अलग था, जो exposed था sunlight से. तो क्योंकि हम live पौधा use कर रहे हैं, we are using the live leaf, live potted plants, इसीलिए इनको पहले dark rooms पे रखना पड़ता है, previous starch को खत्म करने के लिए, तभी हम fresh result देख सकते हैं. और तीसरा कौन सा होता है? एक तो होगा CO2, एक होता है सनलाइट, और तीसरा होता है वेरीगेटेड लीव्स. वेरीगेटेड लीव्स क्या होते हैं?
मनी प्लांट.
हाँ, वेरीगेटेड लीव्स. Variegated leaves में the leaves which are colorful. Thing is the leaf should be, it says a colorful leaf. तो अभी इसमें क्या है? कुछ पोर्शन तो इसका कैसा है? ग्रीन पैची है, और इसके पास कुछ पोर्शन ऐसा है which is having some other color like proton. ये होते हैं variegated leaves which has some dark purple color, dark purple leaf है, तो उसके अंदर क्लोरोफिल का इफेक्ट मास्क हो गया है, तो ये पता होना चाहिए, राइट? तो वेरीगेटेड आर द वंस व्हिच आर डार्क पिगमेंट्स. इसमें डार्क पिगमेंट्स है, बीच बीच में तो क्लोरोफिल का इफेक्ट नहीं है. तो इसमें कैसे पता चलेगा दैट वेरीगेटेड लीव्स आल्सो हैज फोटोसिंथेसिस? क्या करोगे? वेरीगेटेड पार्ट को कौन से पार्ट में एक्सपोज नहीं करोगे? छुपाना किसको है? कौन से पार्ट को? तो इसमें पूरे, हाँ इसमें पूरे को, हाँ आप ये पूरा है ना, आप इस पूरे को अल्कोहल बाग पे रख सकते हो. पहले इसको डिस्टार्चिंग पे डाल दो, फिर अल्कोहल पे दे दो, तो सारा पिगमेंट बाहर आ जाएगा. जैसे इसका सारा पिगमेंट बाहर आ गया, इसके बाद यू विल सी दैट अगर चाहो तो आप इसी पैच को एक्सपेरिमेंट में डाल सकते हो, तो आपको बाकियों को ढकना पड़ेगा नॉन, ठीक है, ग्रीन पार्ट को. और अगर आप पूरी लीफ को भी कर रहे हो तो अगर द एंटायर लीफ बिकम्स ब्लू ब्लैक, दैट मींस फोटोसिंथेसिस सारे पार्ट कर रहे हैं, ग्रीन वाला भी और कलर्ड वाला भी, ऐसे भी शो सकता है. ठीक है. सो इसके दो स्टेप, दो प्रोसेसेस हो सकता है डिसीजन ले सकता है कोई भी टेस्ट करते टाइम लैब में, कि आपको सिर्फ वेरीगेटेड पार्ट को ही टेस्ट करना है या बाकी के पूरे को भी करना है. पूरा करना है ना, ग्रीन का एक ब्लैक है, बाकी कौन से वाले का ब्लैक, ग्रीन पे वेरीगेटेड लीफ को भी ढका होगा ना उससे. Okay, wait. So these stars were placing the plant, place the plant again in daytime for about 4 to 6 hours so that the stars will be gained. And so chlorophyll is only in the patches. Such leaves can be found in plants like Coleus, Tridescantia, and Proton. Wait. Just a minute. Yes, in this, first of all, this part, fungi. Fungi में आप देखो, fungi doesn't have a please आपको ध्यान रखना है. Digested food इसका बाहर होता है, digestive enzyme से बाहर release कर रहा है. Please draw this diagram. This is very important because it is giving you an explanation of that the digestive enzymes are secreted outside the body. Suppose it's a bread, ये bread है, तो इसमें fungus लगा हुआ है, तो digestive enzymes are released outside the body in the food item on that organic matter. On the organic matter, it is released. On the organic matter, it is released. Digested food is absorbed by the rhizoids. The food in the simpler form is taken up by the rhizoids. They don't have a roots. We call it rhizoids. So this is important. Then they have a stalk-like structure, sporangiophore, जिसमें sporangium है, which has tiny spores. Thousands of spores are there. Wherever they go by air, they spread by air. They spread by air, and they fall on the new around में जो भी है तभी वो खाने में फैलता है. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा फंगस लगा है तो 2-3 दिन में पूरे पे फैल जाएगा. कैसे? Through these spores, developing spores. So they are hyphae, horizontal tube-like structures, which are helping them to hold the organic matter. So this you can copy because ये अभी आपको लग रहा है सिर्फ nutrition का part है, but ये reproduction में भी structure वापस से आएगा. So better you do it right now. So different modes. Now, what are the steps of holozoic nutrition? How many steps are there? What is the correct step? It is asked. Correct step. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So these are the various 5 steps of nutrition. And especially in case of amoeba, nutrition in amoeba, you can see here the holozoic mode of nutrition in amoeba. So what is the first thing happening with this? Amoeba senses the food nearby. Second step में क्या होगा? Pseudopodia से उसको enclose करने की कोशिश करेगा, right? So pseudopodia surrounds the food. Then the food is enclosed in a food vacuole. Food vacuole बनेगा. Pseudopodia के मार्ग से vacuole के मार्ग से. Food vacuole is made up of food and some amount of water droplets. Then digestive enzymes जो है वो vacuole के अंदर जाएंगे. Food vacuole के अंदर. इसको कहते हैं intracellular digestion. क्या बोलेंगे इसको हम? Yes, it is intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion. Right, so enzymes from the cytoplasm are secreted into the food vacuoles. Food अब digest हो गया food vacuole में, and soluble material are absorbed. जो भी उससे utilization हो सकता है, वो soluble material absorb होगा and assimilate करेगा. It will be used up. So undigested waste is expelled out. जो छोटा सा food vacuole remaining बचेगा जिसमें कुछ भी waste है, solid waste, that will be वो plasma membrane पे आएगा और rupture हो जाएगा. ठीक है, उसमें से release हो जाएगा waste. So like this, there are 6 steps of holozoic nutrition in amoeba. इसी को इस steps को लिखा हुआ है तो ये काफी elaborated है. इन्हीं steps को explain किया हुआ है. Next, nutrition in human beings. So would you like to note this steps? इनको ऐसे as it is diagrams के साथ note करो तो definitely it's a 5-mark question in CBSE. So here the human digestive system. Now in this human digestive system we see that there are salivary glands in the buccal cavity. It always begins from the buccal cavity. So how many are there in the salivary glands? Parotid, sublingual and submandibular. The names are not in the regular routine CBSE classes. So there are 3 salivary glands. Then it is a pharynx, a common passage for food and it's a common passage for food and air, inhaling of air as well. So this is also there. Next, after this, I just want to remove this box. Right. So pharynx is a common passage, and next we see here in the pharynx region में यहाँ पर pharynx है, oral cavity, tongue. Tongue का क्या function है? Tongue has taste buds. It has taste buds.
Controlling the
हाँ. Taste buds to help us to sense the taste of the food. It has a taste bud, so like this, divided, और ऐसे छोटे-छोटे papillae हैं. Fluid filled sac-like structures, taste buds. And also the salivary ducts are opening here. So there is a liquid also inside this, on this, and then it helps to chew the food and gripping it. And then to swallow it. This is about the taste, the tongue. Then it also has teeth. The teeth, yes. The teeth in the human beings are heterodont. Heterodont means the teeth which are dissimilar, which are not similar. Hetero means heterogeneous क्या होता है? Dissimilar, एक जैसा नहीं. तो heterodont teeth है, इसमें अलग-अलग टाइप के teeth होते हैं for grinding, chewing, biting, right? Canines, premolars and molars. So the four patterns of the teeth in the jaws. So here, like this is, jaws are there like this. We divided. There are incisors, canines, premolars, दो होंगे और तीन किसमें होंगे? Molars. Right? So like this, इधर ज़्यादा पॉइंट की ये canine ज़्यादा लग रहा है, इसमें को incisor की तरह बनाना है. Right? So two incisors, one, two, one canine, one C. So this is incisor I. Two premolars and three molars which are never fulfilled. Premolars कभी fulfill होती नहीं चारों corners पर क्योंकि वो vestigial है. उसको हम बोलते हैं wisdom tooth. तो I is rare of chance. So this is how it is, right? इसको वापस बना देती हूँ आपको. It is having stomach. You can see here. This is a J-shaped structure. This is the diaphragm, which is dividing the chest cavity and the abdominal cavity. Stomach के साथ क्या attached है? Small intestine का C-shape duodenum. So it is the duodenum C-shaped structure. इसमें liver और pancreas दोनों situated है. Okay. So the liver and the pancreas is there. Liver has gallbladder, the small section of gallbladder. This नहीं ये gallbladder is storing the bile juice temporarily. Bile juice. हाँ. और pancreas releases pancreatic juice. Liver से आता है bile juice. दोनों के दोनों duodenum में आएंगे. Right. After this, it goes to the small intestine is already है यहाँ पर. Small intestine you can see this is there. Then it goes to jejunum and ileum. What are the other parts? Jejunum and ileum part is of small intestine. यहाँ पे मैं लिख देती हूँ, it's not written. So the small intestine has three portions. Duodenum, the C-shape का beginning है, small section जिसमें bile juice और pancreatic juice यहाँ पर release होता है. Then jejunum, it is jejunum, and after that it is ileum. So like this. And then you can see this large intestine. Can you see this large intestine? Colon part. So it starts from cecum. This is the large intestine, sac-like structure, cecum part. This is appendix here, vermiform appendix, which is vestigial. ये हमारे अंदर नहीं है, लेकिन cut chewing animals में है. फिर ये पूरा large intestine है, colon part है, ऊपर फिर transverse, फिर descending colon. और यहाँ पर एक structure है, sac-like structure, which stores the urine temporarily, that is rectum, and through the anus, the digested matter is released out to the anus. Right? So this is about the intestine, complete alimentary canal. Next, after this, so this is all about the explanation of these parts. Next. So what is the adaptation of the small intestine? So this is how the travels. ये पूरा एक है health aspects of the alimentary canal. So flow chart. First of all, you will remember about the flow chart of the digestive system. That the food is in the mouth, mouth buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus. फिर stomach का pyloric beginning part, cardiac part, उसका middle नीचे part वाला cardiac, pyloric stomach, pyloric नीचे आएगा. 8 minutes. Just करने पड़ेंगे हमें. We have to make some changes here. That this is only you can see write down initial part of the stomach. ठीक है? Initial, that is fundus part कहते हैं इसको. Initial part or you can say the body, जो main body है उसमें जा रहा है खाना. जैसे ये stomach, ये esophagus का कट है. This is how the stomach looks like. उसका जो initial हिस्सा है, that is fundus region. तो ये उसकी body होती है. कार्डियक रीजन somehow इधर आता है और ये पाइलोरिक रीजन होता है. ये पाइलोरिक पार्ट होता है. तो यहाँ पर ये चेंज करना होगा. दैट इज इनिशियल पार्ट में जाएगा. फिर उसके बाद इट इज गोइंग टू द बॉडी पार्ट. बॉडी से आप लिख सकते हो पाइलोरिक पार्ट. एंड देन कम्स द duodenum. Small intestine is already a part of duodenum. So you can write here jejunum and ileum लिखना चाहिए. Jejunum, then it is going to the ileum. From there it goes to large intestine से rectum and then anus. और duodenum में liver से it is from the liver, the bile juice, and it is from the pancreas, pancreatic juice. Right? So like this. So this is a flow chart. And how the things are there in a single row. So please draw this flow chart because इसको पूछते हैं what is the flow chart and the flow of the food in the human digestive system. So to write this. What is that process known as? Peristalsis. So it is through peristalsis. Yes, it is through the peristalsis. Pharynx is a common passage for food.
Yeah.
Okay, यहाँ से mouth से food here. And then the bolus will enter into this. It is the esophagus. Windpipe के पीछे होता है. Dorsal side पर esophagus होता है. Right? And what is the function of the stomach? Stomach कैसे prevent करता है खाना वापस से back ना हो जाए, vomit ना हो जाए? There is a sphincters. क्या लगे होते हैं इस पे? Sphincters. ताकि back flow ना हो. Right? So this is I was talking about the parts of the stomach. So you can skip these names. So this is digestion में stomach. Stomach is responsible mainly for which type of digestion? Protein digestion. Stomach का main flow किसमें होता है? Protein के digestion में होता है. I'll just show you that. वो वाला पहले कर लेते हैं. Digestion कैसे होता है? ये हमने structure almost पढ़ी है. So this is there. Digestion in stomach. इसको रोटेट करना पड़ेगा. Yes. So what happens now? First of all, the teeth is mastication of food में help कर रहा है. Chewing, physical digestion होगा. Second क्या होता है? Tongue, facilitation of swallowing. Swallow करने में करेगा. Taste buds है. Saliva में कौन सा enzyme होता है? Which enzyme is present in the saliva? Salivary amylase. क्या करता है salivary amylase? It breaks down starch into maltose. ठीक है? और कितना pH है? 6.8. मतलब acidic चाहिए. Slightly acidic. इसके बाद epiglottis क्या? Epiglottis is the a flap-like ligament. वो होता है वो. It's a cartilage which prevents the food entry into the windpipe. Right? So this is epiglottis. Bolus क्या होता है? The food which we are chewing. जो हमने खाना चबा के जो swallow कर रहे हैं उसको bolus कहते हैं. वो food फिर pharynx के बाद कहाँ जाता है? Esophagus. ठीक है? Further. अब इसके बाद next क्या होगा? यहाँ पे मैं ये वाले equation की बात कर रही हूँ आपसे. Pepsinogen को कौन activate करता है? HCl. HCl फिर क्या करेगा? Proteins जो है वो टूटेंगे into intermediate structures. पेप्टोन्स प्रोटियोजेंस होते हैं वो, आप पेप्टाइड्स भी याद रख सकते हो। पेप्टाइड इंटेस्टाइन में जाके होता है, मेनली प्रोटीन डाइजेशन स्टमक में होता है, which is shown here। कितनी देर रखता है? 4 to 5 hours। Food stores the stores food for 4 to 5 hours। और फूड अच्छे से मिक्स होता है एसिडिक गैस्ट्रिक जूस में by churning movement of the stomach and it is known as chyme। अब इसको chyme बोला जाता है। अगर इन्फेंट का स्टमक है वो सिर्फ मिल्क डाइट पर है या फिर कार्ब्स, तो डाइजेशन ऑफ मिल्क प्रोटीन इन इन्फेंट्स इज डन विद द हेल्प ऑफ रेनिन एंजाइम। सिर्फ बच्चों के उसमें गैस्ट्रिक जूस मिलेगा रेनिन, ये भी प्रोटीन ब्रेकडाउन के लिए, मिल्क प्रोटीन केसिन उसके ब्रेकडाउन के लिए होता है, राइट? हाँ, रेनिन पूछ सकते हैं। रेनिन तो ये क्या है, मिल्क प्रोटीन इज डाइजेस्टेड, इट इज बाय द एंजाइम ऑफ द स्टमक। Renin, double N आएगा, RENNIN, renin। So this is how we can see that what are the various parts of the saliva, मतलब जिसमें क्या क्या है और उसका function। Noted everyone? Right? Have you noted in the online?
Yes,
Both of
ma'am.
you? ठीक है। Next, after this, what is the next topic? What happens in the small intestine? Small intestine में भी absorption होगा। So, end products जितने भी हैं ये तो digestion के related है। So, I'll also show you the emulsification part. One more step is there. This one. This is about the. Yes. So, what happens in the duodenum and jejunum and ileum? So, ये further breakdown है. This you can skip. So digestion in duodenum, the proteins further टूट जाते हैं by this this is pancreatic juice, so there is pancreatic trypsin, then amylase जो है अभी भी 70% starch undigested है, तो उसको amylase enzyme disaccharides में टूटता है, fats lipase की वजह से टूटता है और emulsification of fats होगा, there will be emulsification of fats। Emulsification is also required, which is by the this is by the ये आपको दिख रहा है गॉल ब्लैडर से, तो लिवर से गॉल ब्लैडर में वो स्टोर होगा बाइल जूस, उसको रिलीज करेंगे डक्ट। ये आप देखो डक्ट जा रही है, लिवर और पैनक्रियास की डक्ट कॉमन खुलती है डिओडेनम के अंदर और फिर डाइजेशन शुरू होगा। सो डाइजेशन इन द डिओडेनम इज लाइक दिस। तो डिओडेनम के अंदर इमल्सिफिकेशन होगा। इमल्सिफिकेशन ऑफ फैट्स का क्या यूज है? इससे क्या होता है, लाइपेज की एक्टिविटी बढ़ जाती है क्योंकि फैट्स का डाइजेस्टिव एरिया बढ़ गया। तो ये पॉइंट्स होते हैं डाइजेशन इन द डिओडेनम, राइट? दैट व्हाट हैपेंस इन द डिओडेनम। सो व्हाट हैपेंस इन द डिओडेनम? आफ्टर दिस नेक्स्ट, so after this we move to the what happens by the digestive enzymes of the intestine। intestine की digestive juice को क्या कहते हैं? याद रखो, succus entericus। succus entericus। so succus entericus is about digestion, digestive juices by the intestine itself। So these are the further breakdowns which is taking place. Santhan, are you writing that? Contents?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to write selective, huh? You have to write not all, but selective ones. And what happens in the jejunum and ileum? Jejunum and ileum में जो succus entericus है, उससे finally सारे products को simplest form में तोड़ दिया है। जो भी इंटरमीडिएट से अब बचे कुछ इंटरमीडिएट्स भी टूट के मोनोमर्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे। यू कैन चेक अमीनो एसिड्स बन गए हैं, ग्लूकोज, गैलेक्टोज, फ्रक्टोज, न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स और न्यूक्लियोसाइड्स जो है डीएनए आरएनए के ब्रेकडाउन हो गया है। फाइनली अब सारा ब्रेकडाउन कंप्लीट है एंड नाउ द फूड इज रेडी टू बी एब्सॉर्ब्ड। It is now the food is going to be absorbed in the same location, jejunum and ileum, because of the villi. Because of the villi and this is because of the villi, right? तो ये यही मेन फूड आइटम्स होते हैं जो हम खाते हैं। सीरियल्स जितने भी हम खाते हैं, गेहूं, चावल, ये सब जो माल्टोस होता है, लैक्टोज मिल्क का शुगर होता है, सुक्रोज चीनी शक्कर खाया उसका होता है कंटेंट। तो ये हम edibles में होता है, which is broken down finally. Next, after this, what is the next step? Digestion complete होता है तो absorption. There is no very relevant digestion in the large intestine. क्यों? Large intestine और esophagus में digestion क्यों नहीं होता है?
Large intestine में तो हो जाता है
But the absorption part, absorption,
तो esophagus से पहले ट्रांसफर
but there is no enzyme secretion in esophagus. There is no enzyme. जब भी हमको आता है ना कि ये क्यों नहीं होता है right process, stable से there is no enzyme in it. So large intestine में absorption होता है mainly, enzymes नहीं होते, ये लिखा हुआ है, right? Next है absorption वाला step. अब absorption में हम देखें, so with what you see here, किसमें नहीं, वो emulsification में help करता है। Yes. So here next we will talk about the last step, that is absorption. So wherever the absorptions are going on, we'll discuss that. So here, what is this particular part? Lacteals. ये एक single lacteal है. This is a single lacteal which is shown. Villi with lacteals. So आप देख सकते हो कि यहाँ पे lacteals में fatty acids को ले जा रहे हैं और ये intestine में है, and then ये सारा circulation में चला जाता है. So this is sufficient. And large intestine, absorption of water, some minerals and drugs takes place here. And absorption of water, simple sugar और alcohol का absorption stomach में होता है. Mouth में some medicines and tobacco का होता है, इसलिए tobacco कैंसर हो सकता है mouth को. Small intestine में सारा principal absorption site is small intestine because of villi. ठीक है? And then finally the leftover food is digested out through the rectum. Okay, so the feces matter, the fecal matter, which is to the rectum. Then there are disorders, which is not in your course, but you can see here how it happens. Normal bowel movement is shown and the constipated bowel movement when the feces are stuck up in the intestine, large intestine. That is constipation. Okay. So here the class completes today. If you have any doubt, please ask.